Good morning, everyone. Well, good day, everyone, because you probably won't see this till later tonight. Today is Saturday, and I am doing arm's length art. And I thought for the first couple of hours, I would start out by working on these bingo templates because I have so many of them. And I just did some basic stamping where I just used a script stamp. And, you know, I don't use the acrylic boards. I just willy-nilly stamp it all over the place. And I'll show you how I do that. And then I distressed it a little bit by taking the ink and a brush and brushing it out. So I'm just going to quickly just give you a little demo of how I do this. There's no rhyme or reason. Everybody else has their own style. And I'm just stamping it out to get rid of some of the whiteness on here, and I will further enhance it. And I didn't stamp the whole thing. I just stamped a little bit here. And I'm just going to, I should take this one out. This is my overflow stamp board that I'm using right now so that it, oh, that looks good. And sometimes I can get a second one. And I'm going right over the grid boxes. So that's kind of the idea of how I'm doing this. I even opened up a brand new ink pad today just so I'd have it nice and juicy to be able to do this for you. So you can see there's no, I don't really want a defined stamp look. I just want to overlap it. And I will stamp in other colors later on if I feel the need to, but I like the idea of using up some of the scraps I have in my papers, so it may be enhanced more with scrap because it is our arm's length art, so I don't want to run out and get other stamps. This one sits on my desk because I do use it quite often. This stamp set came as a gift from my friend Lori back in Manitoba. Thank you, Lori. And hi, Lori. And hi, Barry. So I've been using it lately, and I just love it. Now, I think she probably got it, you know, I'm guessing she probably got this stamp set online from, you know, either AliExpress or Temu or, you know, something like that. So if I think of it, and I'll ask her, and then I can give you more information. It's just a set of two different scripts that I'm showing you. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I will do it off camera. You know, that's my time to do it. But now I have my soft brush here. And these you can pick up at the dollar store in the makeup section. Ooh, that's quite thick, but that's okay. It is a new stamp, and I forgot. I'll just brush it out a little bit more. And I just go over it a little bit into the grids as well. And then I like to sort of do at the cross of the grids. I want to do a little bit there as well, just to overlap the colors a bit and fill in wherever it's white. And I will continue to do that just like this till it's full. So the whole idea for me for this, for today, for on my table, is to use up pieces in this scrap box. So I may have several of these started as I work through different colors. It's not going to use a lot of scraps, but it should be very interesting to see what I come up with. So I made myself a little template. Oh, here it is. In order to do this one. So I just made a little template so I know kind of what size I'm working with. And I'm going to stay, you know, I see a lot of burgundies on the top of this box, burgundies and brown shades. So I'm going to stay in those colors. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, in this case, it just worked out. I'm just going to trim this down so that it fits inside here. And it does not have to be, there's no rules, there's no laws. And the only reason I'm doing it straight is so that I don't waste too much of this paper, because I will use it for other things too. But I thought maybe a piece of this burgundy mulberry paper would look cute in here. So I'm just going to trim that out and and stick that in there. So I'm going to glue all these down, different shades. Like I've got a piece of this here. This was quite pretty. I'd like to capture some of the burgundy, so I'm going to go over this flower. And it is double-sided, so I can even use one on the other side. So this is just to give you an idea of what I'm going to do on here, and I will continue to fill this up and see what kind of collection I come up with. If you want to play along with me, you can find these sheets in my Ko-fi site. Look on any of my videos and you'll see the link to Ko-fi, and you can download these images for free. They come in several sizes, and you can play along with me. That's it. That's all. I'll see you in a few minutes when this is all done. Bye for now. Okay, here is the finished sheet with the 25 swatches on it. This was actually a lot of fun, and it's really not hard to do and very fast. So my next step is to, I have these hymnal pages, and I have lots of them. I just have to go find them. And I also have some already cut out, is these little numbers from the page. You know, they're not the page numbers, but you could use page numbers as well if you can find a book that has larger page numbers to use, or at least significant enough that you can see them. So what I've done is I've cut out the ones that were on this 2-sheet here that I can use, and I'm going to use these to glue them down onto each of these like a little specimen number or sampler number. So I just have to trim this one out. So this will take me a little while to do, and I'm probably going to work on another one of these off camera as well, because I just think they're so much fun, and it really doesn't make a huge dent in my scrapbooking or in my scrap paper stuff, but they look cute. Like, and look at already how the numbers make such a difference, right? So you can collage all kinds of things on here. You could ink stamp over top of this. You could ink stamp your numbers if you wanted, or handwrite them, or make little notations and notes in, you know, on the side of the margins, because you want to make it look like somebody used this and said, yeah, I'm going to take 10 yards of this. I mean, this is paper, but if it were to be a fabric swatch, you could say, order 10 yards on the side or something, and might be good for spring, you know. So these are things that you could write as if you were actually going to buy from this sample card, or, you know, just put it on the idea of doing it. So it just gives you a chance to write some notes in here if you wanted. And then the third thing that I want to do on this, and you will see it later on as it's done. Here, I just got to take these off of here first so they don't fly all over. Is at the very top here, I am going to fold this down just about a ½ inch, with the idea that this is now going to be a flip out in a journal. So this little piece will hang on to a page. I don't know at what point yet, or it will be the part of the signature page. So I would have to decide where it is I want to fold this, and you know, I may have to fold it a couple of times to get it to work, but I just think that in itself is nice. And so you may also want to consider doing your notations and words and labels or whatever you want to collage on here, with the idea that you're going to use it this way instead of this way. So these are just some things to give some thought to when you're working on this. Okay, so I'm going to stop the camera again, and I will show you more as I go along. See you soon. And I'm back. So I have finished this one swatch card. And as I mentioned, I am folding back or folding forward. I'm just going to leave it. I've already folded it, so I know where it's going to be folded, so that I can add it into another page in a book. And the whole page now, I've gone horizontal. So I've folded it after 2 sets of swatches, and then I have another 2, and then I have this one here, and I've put a little tab on here. So I'm I'm not sure yet. You know, I may have to refold this or do something else, but I kind of like this look. I think once I decorate the back side of it, I would glue this. Well, I can't because I put a tab on it. I thought maybe I could just glue the bottom and just use it as a tuck. Or I don't know. We'll see. The reason I'm not decorating the back side of this is because I want to wait and see what book I put it into. But I've done a lot of ink stamping around. I've done some writing here in the corner. Lots of ink stamps. It says Paris. I've added some collage fodder, just some labels from my coffee member site that French art labels. And yeah, and then this was I think the whole word was Carrollton Avenue, but I wanted to make a fake address, so I just said Carroll. I just cut off the rest of it and just made a fake Carroll Avenue. Just assuming that this is where, you know, it's kind of part of the advertising sort of, and where this would have come from, you know, just in my mind. And lots of fun. It is a lot of fun. It's not, you know, it's not fast. I mean, it starts out fast, but then once you start playing, the next thing you know, you're about a couple hours in. And I did go and I put numbers. I decided that I didn't want them on all of the page or on all the spots anyway, so I just numbered some of them. And I did some fake writing here, you know, made it look like I was making notes of something. So it's just, you know, playing and having fun. So this is all scraps from my scraps. I did make a template slightly smaller than the square so that I knew I could see the outline and it would define the actual swatch. So that was the first one. I'm losing my voice and I don't know why. I haven't talked today all day. So here, this one is the one that's printed on both sides of the page. So I did print it on the other side, and the idea is that you fold it up and you can use it as a swatch booklet or, you know, a signature page, and then decorate it the same way from there. You don't have to have them on both sides. I just wanted to make like a little booklet, and so I've done one. And here is the little booklet. Now these are a little bit smaller, you know, because it's not the full-size page. But I did pretty much the same kind of idea. And ink stamped around the same way, inked the edges. Here I used a little bit more of the black on the corners to really make it look like an old, you know, a little bit aged and sort of like a newsprint type of catalog page. Because, you know, that's how they were. They were grungy and they didn't look as nice as they do today. But yeah, so here is the front 25 squares. And then when you open it up, I have done some green ones and pink ones on the inside. Again, embellishing with a few labels and some stamps and just the writing all over the place. I'm really pleased with it. I have inked around all of these. And if you're keeping track, side one was 25, so we're up to 50, 75 there. And then when you turn it over, yes, 100 swatches. That means 400 little sides that I had to ink. I do recommend a template. Definitely that just made things very speedy when I was doing this, for cutting them out. And then, you know, you've got to sort of place them. They do fly around, so the faster you can get them sort of glued down, the better. But I found also that I was spending time rearranging them to get the colors to, you know, pop a little bit more so that you could really define the different designs in the paper and stuff. So this was fun, but I'm exhausted and I've seen enough little squares that I'm going to bed tonight with little squares in my head. So, because that's 100 and then there's another 25 here. So that's a big project. I wouldn't want to do 3 of these in a day. What I would rather do is set them up where I have one that's for, you know, if I want to do color blocks, and then I can have one sitting here for all like burgundies and reds and, you know, that type of things. I can have one for any pinks or greens, whatever color combination I want to do. But, you know, I have this little tiny one, which is even smaller squares, and this one, the idea is that I can cut this in 4 and make 4 journal cards. No, I didn't do it on the other side. But you could also make a little mini page with them by folding it in half and cutting them so that you have a little mini page to go in a booklet as well. But this is just paper, okay? And you could further enhance the paper by adding embellishments like gems and stickers and stuff. You can do one just stickers. You could do just gems. You could do postage stamps, and that's the one I want to do next, is postage stamps. You could do pieces of vellum so you can see the words through whatever the design is. Now, I printed this on plain white paper, but you could print this right onto your scrapbook paper, which would make it equally nice and a lot faster and a lot cleaner, because when you're ink stamping, it gets messy. Here's a good example of where you can see the black a little bit more, although you won't see that when it's sewn into a signature. But yeah, so you could add coins on here. If you're printing this on a heavier cardstock, you could probably glue coins. You don't have to fill every one in. You could have some left empty, as if you were a collector, like a stamp collector. And then going into the fabrics, you could do fabrics, lace, your trims, pieces of doily, little flowers. There's just so many fun ideas that I will have these sitting forever. Same with my bingo one. This one was meant to glue down things as I worked on them on my table. I could put something new on here. And while I haven't finished this one yet, it is fun. And it is fun when you've got that little piece. And I do have one here. I have this embossed piece of paper that I thought, oh, that would be fun to put one of those on there, just a little piece. Because this one is more fabric and trim related, but you could have them set up in all different methods to create these pages. And if they're just sitting there, you could do butterflies. I just saw a butterfly on my desk. You could do butterflies, or here's one where there's a postage stamp. Now this is a little bit long, but I do have lots of smaller postage stamps that would fit inside there very nicely. And even if you did postage stamps, you could still have a couple of large ones glued down along the top. Oh, I want to do a postage stamp one now. So lots of fun ideas that way as well. You could do the alphabet. The only thing is, there's 26 letters, there's 25 spots. So you'd either have to do one of the letters up here, or, the letter, you could scramble them. And so you could randomly pick a letter that goes up there and scramble them. You could put them all in a row. So A, of course, would take the big spot, or you could go A, B, C, and then put this and then end with 1, 2, 3. So there's so many fun, crazy little, methods and madness that we can apply to this project. I love it. As much as I want to get addicted to it, I can't, because I have too many things to do. So I will set up probably about 10 sheets on my desk that are sort of ready to go, with a basic background. I don't know if I want to ink stamp all of them, but I will do a couple ink stamp ones, and then mostly printed paper. Something that I can still collage and add things on top to reduce the paper background, because I want it to be about the stuff that we put on top. But man, oh man, this is so fun. I could see myself doing lots of these, lots. So that's my take on that. A couple of things I wanted to mention. One, this arm's length art, this is the second week we've had that I've been playing on Facebook and here. So let me know what you think of this again. Still in the back burner as to how I can implement a live stream and still be able to take time to work. I'm thinking, but not there yet. Last week's winner is Nancy Bissett. Thank you, Nancy, for participating. It's just to, have some fun, and Nancy will get a little Happy Mail packet from me. So, Nancy, if you you know, I'm sure if I dig deep in the depths of my emails and stuff or and messages, I could find it, but it would be so much easier if you just message me and send me your address. Just makes it easier. So Nancy is our winner for last week. And there are a couple of you that participated this week, and I will close it off at the end of the day and then make a draw next week if I do this again next week. Either way, I'll make a draw, but you know, arm's length art may or may not happen next week, although I really would like it to. So do give me your thoughts and ideas on it if you like the idea. And then the last thing I wanted to say was my thoughts on the whole process. Well, inking is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, definitely. So I want to try doing some with background papers like scrapbook paper. Here is my tray. Even though I took 125 scraps out of here, it hasn't moved. I mean, they're so small. You could do this. Did I say already washi tape? You could use washi tape, especially for those little ones. These little tiny ones little pieces of washi tape would fit right in there just nicely. So you could scratch off your washi and stick it in there. Even if you have strips of scrapbook paper and things that you've stamped on in strips, you can cut them in little pieces and fill these in quite nicely. Because it's not to say that you can't have any of the background showing. You can. It's just use what you have, right? So the first thing I've noticed is that, one, I haven't brought this down very much. In fact, very, very little. And so I worked really out of the bottom here, and so you can see all my pieces. So number two is I've discovered it is really difficult for me to cut a little chunk because I used a little template here. This was my template. I found it very difficult to cut into a piece of paper to make that little square because this is like a perfect piece of paper, right? So I had to keep reminding myself that this scrap box is never going to go away if I don't cut into these papers. So that was another lesson that I learned. And yes, this box doesn't go down very much at all. And thirdly, I worked just out of this container. Just out of this container. Now, this is the signature one that has 100 swatches on here. I did not use one single swatch twice. So that means that in this box, there is at least 100 different types of material, which means there's at least 100 different pieces of paper. However, you know, I didn't go into the purples. I had started cutting them a little bit, but I realized, no, I had enough with this. I didn't go into a lot of the colors or, you know, more vibrant. I really made them collage mixes. I probably have 200 different options in here to use. So that scares the heck out of me. And not only that, but this basket scares the heck out of me because it's never going to go away. And this is not all I have, because Hazel said, well, if you have, if that's all your scraps, you have a really good control. No, this is what I'm showing you and what I'm working out of, because where would I put all the scraps and small pieces I have? So, yeah, it's a struggle. And so my part of my goal is to not add anything more to here and see how long it takes me to make this disappear. You know, because yeah, this is kind of crazy. 100 different papers in here. And, you know, I can see I should just leave this on top. This is my swatch for, okay, I need a piece of paper. Well, I know that I have this in here, so I can flip through here and find this paper or that one. So maybe this will have to sit in here and be used as my swatch for what's in here. That is pathetic. That is so pathetic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, the video will air, you know, so hopefully you'll see it. It'll still be Saturday, if not Sunday morning. Tomorrow is Sunday. I am going to try to go to the flea market. I couldn't go last week because the weather, it was very icy and it was cold and it was windy, which in St. John means ice rain. So, I didn't want to go traveling. So I'm going to try to go tomorrow. A further update on Lulu. She was not eating yesterday. She's very mad that we're giving her pills. We crush them and we put them in a little bit of water and syringe them into her, because if you've ever tried to give a cat a pill, we will both be clawed to death, and she will still not take a pill. So she's a little bit perturbed with us because we, have to hold her down, and it's a big production to get this into her, squish it into her, and then, follow it with a little bit of water because the pills are bitter. So she still wasn't eating last night. I have some stuff to sprinkle on the food to make it more palatable, but I think she just wasn't well enough last night. So this morning I got her to eat maybe about the size of my glue cap, that much. If you fill the glue cap, that's how much I got her to eat with the sprinkles on. So, it's not very much, like the size of your thumb, like that. But it was something. And then when I went and had a break, I went upstairs and mixed a little bit more, probably 2 of these, and she gobbled it up. So that I'm very, very happy about that, because she doesn't normally eat wet food very much. She's very picky about the wet food. So she is better. She's been sleeping. She slept all day and all night last night, and she's been sleeping most of the day. But I did hear her get up and squawk a little bit while I was down here, and then I went upstairs. By then she was back in bed. So I think she's on the mend. We have to give her this medication twice a day, so it's an ordeal, and it's heartbreaking because she's such a sweetheart, and I feel so bad to make her feel even worse. But that's how we get them better, right? So she is on the mend, and I will let you know how she's doing tomorrow, but I'm gathering it's just a couple more days and she'll be back to her normal self. So that's it. That's all. It is Saturday night. Go and do something fun. And I wish you all a very creative weekend and the creative week next week. Can I just say one more thing? One more little thing. I will be off tomorrow for sure and Monday. But I will be back on Tuesday with Techniques Tuesday, and be prepared. We are doing something new on Tuesday, and that is going to go into the next week, Tuesday, to be finished. And it is something totally new that I haven't done before. And, I'm looking forward to showing you my next project. So see you all by next Tuesday, and have a creative weekend and week. See you soon. Bye now.